The Working Woman Report is proudly brought to you by Resorts World Casino, New York City. Play, dine, and unwind. And Malloy College, located in Rockville Center, Long Island. Malloy classes provide a value-centered, multidimensional liberal arts education with more than 50 quality academic, undergraduate, and graduate degree programs. With approximately 4,200 students, Malloy is large enough to offer students an academically challenging, quality educational experience, yet small enough to provide the personal attention that enhances every student's intellectual, ethical, spiritual, and social development. Also brought to you by Metro Broadcast Video and Streaming, LLC, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut TriCaster experts, a full NewTek dealership available to supply you and your team with TriCaster equipment and all of your full production needs. Straight ahead in this week's Working Woman Report, we'll introduce you to one fashion-forward designer who is truly pursuing her dreams one handbag at a time. Plus, meet the author who's sharing her triumphs and tragedies to help other women stand tall and rise above their own obstacles. Plus, if you think entrepreneurship is hard, try living with an owner in the making. Meet the real powerhouse behind one of the most popular yogurt brands around. What's your idea? If you're ready to change your life and start making your passion work for you, listen up. The Working Woman Report is here to help, and it starts right now. Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Allison Hans. Our first working woman is making her mark in the fashion world with a unique style. It's a style and a brand that came about thanks to the trouble some former colleagues had pronouncing her real name. Now, Lola Falk is a name that's easily rolling off people's tongues as she works on taking the fashion world by storm.
It's a brand manifestation of what I feel like is my personality. My personality brought forth in handbags.
Lauren Falkowski didn't set out to be a handbag designer.
I started making bags late 2007, and it actually started as just a fun side project to keep me occupied when I was back in Michigan visiting family for a couple of weeks.
In fact, despite a love for painting, she had no idea how to sew. It was her mom who showed her how to work the sewing machine during that trip back home to Detroit.
My mom, who'd always been trying to get me to sew, I knew she'd be more than happy to show me a few tricks.
Mom did share her tricks, and in the process, something magical happened. When Lauren took to the machine, she found her piece.
I had so much enjoyment, not only just mixing the colors and the patterns and the fabric, but also just like the physical motion of running the sewing machine.
This was one of the first bags Lauren created back in 2007, when she was in what she describes as a corporate job from hell. 5 years later, she's her own boss and supports herself by selling the bags. These are some of her unique creations.
You can fit a smartphone in this front zipper pocket here. And then on the inside, a nice deep pocket for boarding pass, passport, cash pocket here, change pocket, and then of course 6 credit card pockets here in the middle.
Lauren's success on Etsy, the e-commerce website which enables people from around the world to buy and sell their crafts, allowed her to quit her day job and focus on the business full-time. She also sells her handbags at many open-air markets.
Personally, for me, I feel like the most important piece of advice if you are trying to make this happen for yourself is find a community that you can connect with. Find other people in your area that are doing the same thing or similar things to what you're doing. And for me, that was being a seller on Etsy. They have local teams in every city, and so I would always join up with whatever city I was living in with the local Etsy team. And that's a quick and easy way to not only just meet people, but meet like-minded people.
If you'd like to check out Lauren's latest designs, just visit our website, workingwomanreport.com. Well, purses are just one of many handmade items bringing in the bucks for a growing group of entrepreneurs. If you have a knack for knitting, sewing, painting, or other crafts, there's money to be made at bazaars, art festivals, and beyond. If you're creative but not so confident on the business front, you can get help from other crafters through resources like Hello Craft and by attending conferences like Craftcation. Throughout the year, Craftcation organizers say it's crucial for crafters to stay active on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media networks to build their brands. Of course, as the Lola Falk success story shows us, crafters are finding a huge storefront thanks to Etsy. Here's a look at how artisans around the world are using the internet giant to bring in some cold, hard cash. With over 19 million members and more than 800,000 sellers worldwide, Etsy has become the website to sell personalized handmade items directly to buyers. From a handmade crocheted beanie for a newborn baby to a collector's vintage item like this Green Bay Packers limited edition pewter belt buckle, Etsy allows people all over the world to buy and sell their crafts and collections while turning their passion into profit. Etsy makes its money through a 3.5% sales fee on every transaction and a listing fee of 20 cents an item for a 4-month period. The business model seems to be working. The website has also launched a thriving community of crafters who exchange ideas on everything from advertising to legal issues to pricing. They even help each other on how to garner repeat business. Not to mention the online live and recorded workshops Etsy hosts each year about running a small business. To learn more about how Etsy is helping artisans turn their crafty skills into profitable businesses, just visit our website, workingwomanreport.com. We're just getting started here at the Working Woman Report. Coming up after the break, being a business owner isn't easy, but living with one can be a downright minefield. Meet the spouse behind one of the most popular brands around. And attention all authors, you don't need to sign a big book deal to bring your story to readers around the world. We'll introduce you to one woman who is helping writers just like you turn the page to the ultimate opportunity.
Social media is such an important tool for any business entrepreneur, for any business. It's free. It's right at your fingertips. It's your one link to the world. So if you want to get your message out there, really leverage your social media. Make sure that everything is linked together, which will also increase your SEO, your search engine optimization. When people are searching for you, most of these social media outlets are what come up first on social engines. Google, if you're Googling, say, beauty, I'm in beauty. Put as much content as you possibly can on your social media and make sure that you're trending everything, that everything is linked together. This way, when someone does Google beauty, you come to the top of the search engine.
Welcome back to the Working Woman Report. I'm Allison Hans. We continue with the story of a woman who has spent her entire life looking up at the world, literally. Now she's written a book sharing her stories about facing adversity in the hopes of helping others to stand tall. It's not how many steps are in front of you, it's how you climb them. A powerful quote found in Lauren Rutolo's memoir, Unstoppable in Stilettos.
Unstoppable in Stilettos is a memoir about my life so far, because I'm not old enough to have a full memoir, so I'd say so far.
And so far, she's accomplished a lot. Not only is she a published author, she's also the director of entertainment promotions at Hearst Magazines in New York City. Aside from her laudable resume, she's often known as the little girl with a big voice, standing 4 feet 2 inches tall, before she puts on her stilettos, of course. Lauren has spent her entire life looking up at the world and dealing with a rare genetic disease called McCune-Albright syndrome.
My emotional challenges are, I take them on every single day. When I walk down the street and somebody looks at me different, and I always have to, pick myself up and look at myself like I love myself.
Her fulfilling life includes book signings around the country, often with her tight-knit family.
I never thought about myself as being different, because as a child, my parents, they were the most amazing parents, and they never made me feel different.
But by doctors' accounts, she was different, as McCune-Albright syndrome often causes some people to have short legs due to deformities, and some, like Lauren, experience accelerated development, which makes bones easy to break.
At about the age of 1.5 years, I broke my femur bone, and before I was 9 years old, I broke it 8 times. And then at 9 years old, I also went into menopause, which was then reversed when I was 13 years old.
Now, in her 30s, Lauren can easily say she's gone through more trials and tribulations than most people will in their lifetime.
but it's the adversity which has helped make her stronger and fill the pages of her memoir.
Give people 5 minutes, because if you look at me, for the first 30 seconds, your perception of me versus 5 minutes into talking to me is completely different. So give everybody 5 minutes, and they might change your life.
To learn more about Lauren's unstoppable spirit, just head over to our website, workingwomanreport.com. While Lauren used moments from her own life to write her book, every author has their own inspiration for sharing a story, but it often takes the right connections and a guiding hand to bring your story to life. That's where our next working woman comes in. Meet the best-selling author who has built a business by helping first-time writers turn the page towards success.
This author here, Cody McFadden, he's an international bestseller. And I worked with him to get his first book published. So he had been previously unpublished. We worked very intensely together. I helped him get an agent. The agent got him a $500,000 book deal with Bantam. And so his career has really taken off. Right to Sell Your Book is a company that works with authors one-on-one to help them develop their works. We work from either just an idea, complete manuscript, or anywhere along the process. So we can help take an author from idea to completed book. We've helped authors get traditionally published, and we also help authors through the self-publishing process for those who choose to self-publish.
While self-publishing is a great option, there are hazards. Diane found that out when she began investigating some of the companies her clients had used. Many self-publishing companies look great online, but they outsource to people who are not native English speakers. Some even own your copyright and keep your files.
Know what the company is going to be taking from you and what you're going to be keeping yourself. And beware of companies that want to sell marketing plans, because you don't need it.
How difficult is it to get a book published?
If you want to get your book traditionally published, you'll need an agent. So first you need to get the attention of an agent, then the agent needs to pitch a book. Agents these days will not even look at work that has not been professionally edited. Again, that's why it's so important to have an editor in your corner.
What would your advice be to a woman in the audience who is thinking about writing a book?
Well, just get started. Carve out a little bit of time every single day to write. Don't give up. Look for support. And then when you get to a point where you're not sure what to do, you want to bring an editor on board and somebody who is a professional and has experience in the publishing world. Because these days, again, an editor can really help you look at your work in a new light, can help you see what's marketable, what's not, and can help you get over those hurdles to get your work published.
What specific challenges do you find women face in business?
Women in business for themselves have a very difficult time learning to let go and learning to delegate the work and trust other people to help them. And I think to really progress in business, you need to do that. And if you don't do that, you'll remain in stasis.
Diane has assembled a talented team of copy editors, book designers, and cover designers at Right to Sell Your Book. So instead of working with 20 clients at a time, she can focus more on individual writers.
I only work with one client a month. And it's been wonderful. I'm getting such much better results from the authors by working with them that intensely. So when they hire me, they get my full, complete, undivided attention.
In addition to authors, Diane also works with entrepreneurs and service professionals to help them create their own brand. The newly minted professionals then write their own books promoting themselves to potential customers. For more information on publishing or to check out writing tips on Diane's blog, just log on to our website, workingwomanreport.com. Well, as Diane just told us, one of the keys to success is accepting the fact that you can't do it all alone. Our next working woman, who's also an author, takes that concept to the next level. Her company's mission is all about helping entrepreneurs to stop shouldering too many responsibilities so they can finally take time for that family vacation.
Essentially, when you get into business, especially in startup mode, it tends to be everything's on your shoulders and I have to do it all myself and all of that. And then as a business starts to grow, you literally can't do it all.
Tina Forsyth calls this situation the entrepreneur's trap. It's a dark hole often discovered by those looking to be the boss and build a company from the ground up.
I know way too many entrepreneurs who they're working all the time. They never take vacations. They never see their family or their kids, and that's not why they got into business in the first place.
It's an issue Tina has seen so often, she decided to write several books about it and even build her own business to help others find a balance with their businesses.
But I'm talking about being continually stressed out, annoyed, frustrated, overwhelmed.
Her company is called Automate Your Growth. And on her website, she posts video blogs and works with clients on how to lessen the stress and accentuate the positive.
Really looking at what is it going to take to make this business run so that I can go out and do my work in the world and serve in the way I want to serve, work with the people I want to work with, and still have everything run smoothly behind the scenes.
To do that, Tina has developed a list of tools every business owner should use to save time. Some of the items on that list include investing in systems like Infusionsoft, an e-commerce system that does email marketing and automated follow-ups for you. She also says every entrepreneur needs a central desktop, which is a project management system that keeps track of who's doing what within your company. Another helpful tool, according to Tina, is Dropbox, an online file sharing and backup device for important documents, video, and pictures.
Part of the journey is to create, I call it creating your yes list. And that's really taking a look at, okay, what should actually be on my plate? Like me as the leader of my company and the way I want to spend my time and energy, what are the things that only I can do or that I need to do in the business, right? And really for most people, it boils down to two things. It boils down to the marketing, sales, growth, focusing on growth of the company. It also boils down to delivery or creation of whatever you offer.
By focusing on those two factors of your business alone, and by organizing your company from the bottom up, Tina says stress will dissipate. She hopes that with these few simple changes, you too can have the life and business you always dreamed of.
Tina says entrepreneurs often fall into one of two categories: ostrich or control freak. If you're an ostrich, you default into avoidance mode, putting your head in the sand and hoping that someone else will swoop in and save the day. On the flip side, control freaks default into do-it-all-myself mode. They rarely delegate and end up working to exhaustion. Tina says you should strive for something in the middle, what she calls being an empowered entrepreneur. For more tips on how to get out of the entrepreneur's trap, visit our website, workingwomanreport.com. Still to come on this edition of the Working Woman Report, her husband's dream put her on an unexpected path. Find out how one woman's struggle to support his new venture turned into the opportunity of a lifetime. Plus, exercise can give you the energy you need to tackle new business ventures and all of life's little surprises. We'll get some expert advice on how to kick things up a notch in your fitness routine. That's coming up next on the Working Woman Report.
What we have are not businesses, they are movements, they are causes. So let's really think about, my kind of mission here is to really get women to think about their businesses not as just businesses, but as a movement. What is the movement that you are behind? And when we add that depth, when we inject that depth into our businesses, it's so much easier, once again, just like the happiness part, for people to lean in and for people to want to know more and for people to say, hey, you know what? That purpose or that why or that mission or her beliefs and values, they're the same as mine.
You're watching the Working Woman Report. I'm Allison Hans. Whether you run your business or run the household, exercise can help you boost your energy levels to tackle whatever the day has in store for you. Fitness expert Laura DeAngelis gives us a simple idea to take things up a notch and get your mojo going.
Hey everyone, I'm Laura DeAngelis. Whether you're an exercise newbie or a seasoned fitness fanatic, it's always good to have a tool to keep things fresh. So today I'm going to tell you all about the Tabata, one of my favorite ways to get my heart rate up and keep my workouts from getting boring. So what exactly is a Tabata? It's a high-intensity training program created by a Japanese scientist with the same name. Now, don't let the words high intensity scare you. The reason I like Tabata training is that even novices can bang one out. It's all about choosing the right exercises. And here's the kicker. You can complete one Tabata in just 4 minutes. The formula is pretty simple. You do 20 seconds of work at maximum intensity, followed by 10 seconds of rest, and then you repeat that combination for 8 times for a total of 4 minutes. The great news is there are plenty of free apps out there for your smartphone or your portable device that will keep track of the timing for you. Now, there are too many exercises that will work in the Tabata formula, but some of my favorites include planks, push-ups, squats, mountain climbers, jumping rope, and jumping jacks. And those are exercises you can do just about anywhere. If you're a beginner, why not give the first Tabata I ever did a try? It was actually split into 2 exercises, squats and push-ups. So for the first 4 20-second rounds of work, I did squats, and then shifted to modified push-ups for the last 4 rounds. And if you've just completed a long run or a walk, why not add just 4 more minutes to your workout and bang out 1 plank or crunch Tabata? Then you're adding some important core work to your endorphin rush. With summer in full swing, I encourage you to try and add some Tabata training to your routine. And whether you do it in the comfort of the air-conditioned gym, your own den, or travel to a nearby park or beach, Tabata training is a great way to add a little kick to your efforts to have fun, be fit, and feel fabulous.
You can find more of Laura's health and fitness tips and connect with her on her blog by checking our website, workingwomanreport.com. Switching gears now, well-known actor Jim Carrey once said, "Behind every good man, there's a woman rolling her eyes." No doubt our next working woman knows exactly what that means, as she's no stranger to the toll business ownership can take on an entire family. Her husband founded one of today's most popular organic yogurt companies. Their $370 million idea all began on an icy winter day, one that changed their lives forever.
Meg Cadeau Hirschberg learned early on as a newlywed that business is never just about the entrepreneur. Spouses, family, and friends are often sucked into the vortex, and it can be devastating.
I wasn't inherently interested in it. It was just that I was there, I was available, I was capable, and I was cheap. So and this is how a lot of spouses get drawn into helping out in the business.
In the decade that it took Stonyfield Farm to stabilize and go from hand milking cows to mechanization, Meg experienced many dark nights of the soul. And when she and Gary added 3 little yogurt eaters to the household, balancing life and business became even more complicated. Meg's recent book, For Better or For Work, a survival guide for entrepreneurs and their families, is the book she wished she and Gary had 30 years ago. In it, she examines many of the issues a couple faces when there's an entrepreneur in the family.
As the entrepreneur, you really need to understand fundamentally that what for you is a series of sprints in business, because business is often really, for the entrepreneur or business person, sprints. You know, when I get that contract, when we hire that salesperson, when we reach break even, when we open that new office, you know, wherever along the trajectory you happen to be, you have these goals, you meet them, you try to meet the next one. But what for you is a series of sprints is often a long and lonely marathon for your mate.
And while many of these crises are inevitable, Meg says you can limit your troubles by opening up the lines of communication, which she learned firsthand.
We could have avoided a lot of headaches and heartaches along the way if we'd had our consciousness raised about some of these issues and had a vocabulary that we could use to talk about them. Because entrepreneurship business building can be very isolating. You don't often talk with other business people. You certainly don't talk frankly about some of the personal issues that you are experiencing.
Meg's book, For Better or For Work, a survival guide for entrepreneurs and their families, includes advice and tips from 250 fellow go-getters. She also writes a regular column for Inc. magazine about the impact business ownership has on families. For more information, just log on to our website, workingwomanreport.com. That wraps up this edition of the Working Woman Report.
Be sure to connect with us in the social media world. You'll find us on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, there's always our website, workingwomanreport.com. Tune in next time for more inspiring tips and ideas from our fantastic women. Who knows? Maybe you're next. See you then.